Donald Trump.
Make world
Great again.
Vote for
Donald Trump.
Make world
Great
A
again.
lot of brown people, a lot of Indians, Kamala did not feel Indian to them. She didn't resonate as being Indian. And we can all have our theories as to why that was. I have my theories.
What's going on with Indians and MAGA?
And Trump supporters are suddenly discovering that MAGA is racist. For this, I
want to talk about this as an idea. The Indian American identity is in part formed by the idea of a model minority. It exists in contrast to identities of minorities in this country that have been neglected far longer than it has even existed.
You're finally meeting the real Trump fans. And newsflash, they hate you.
64% of the Indians voted for Trump.
About the election. What surprised me, they said 64% of the Indians voted for Mr. T. Let that sink in. Now with that lady that was in Walmart or Target's stealing, whoo, that was a mess, for 7 hours. Now they're talking about racism. You know, and I understand what they're saying, because how they feel, because it is, you know, it's something. It's bad. But 64% of them voted for Trump. Ain't nothing but racism involved in that mess. Okay? So I don't know. Let that sink in. That's a mess.
And yes, Indian Americans are being rejected in the most public way by the MAGA white supremacist group. Okay, they are telling them in a clear way, you are not welcome to this white supremacist group. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how successful you are. Remember, Indians, Americans, they want to be the model minority. They want to show, okay, that they can afford things that even white American cannot afford. And some of them have been switching MAGA. Okay, some of them been voting Republican. But this Republican Party that we have right now is been taken over by MAGA. And MAGA is a white supremacist group. So Indians are not welcome to this MAGA party. And here in this video, I'm going to show you some of the videos of the more prominent, okay, MAGA people and how they have been humiliated by the MAGA crowd. So I'm not saying that it's all the MAGAs, because we never can generalize, but yes, MAGA is showing Indian American that they are not welcome. Yes, showing that goes through the Vice President J.D. Vance, that is married to an Indian American, how his wife will not be welcome being the head of the party, being the wife of the possible president, to all kinds of things, okay, all kinds of the political figures. They are right now being humiliated by MAGA. It's about religion, it's about their brown skin, it's about MAGA does not embrace difference. So stay towards the end, because this video is gonna be really interesting. Drop a comment of 5 words. Help me to hype this video. Please hype this video, and also the MAGA nuts, all the likes, all the subscribes, and all the comments. So help us to support liberal media, subscribing to my channel. Okay, stay towards the end.
Welcome to FAFO, the show where we discuss consequences for poor choices in the voting booth. I'm your host, Thundar, and today we're talking about Indians who voted for Trump.
Asked by God to have Donald Trump be our juggernaut of justice, to be our leader, to be our continued warrior in the arena.
Patel defended Trump against the charges he faced in the now-dropped classified documents case. He also penned a children's trilogy, apparently dedicated to Trump, the, quote, king of the series. The most recent installment describes the tale of the, quote, MAGA king and his journey to, quote, take down Kamala and reclaim his throne.
If you look at the record from January 6th, where I testified before that committee, in that threat, I was called, in the record, a detestable sandman who had no right being in this country. You should go back to where you came from. You belong with your terrorist home friends.
Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates.
when you were running for president, but I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
Jesus Christ is God, and there's no other God. He is part of the Holy Trinity, and any other God is a demon, and it's false. How can you represent the constituents of Ohio? We're 64% Christian if you are not a part of that faith.
Now, brown people, y'all want to take this one or should I? Because if I do it, I'm going to hurt y'all's feelings. So go ahead. Nobody? Okay. Let's have a conversation on white proximity. But first, let me address something I said in the last video. I said that for a lot of brown people, a lot of Indians, Kamala did not feel Indian to them. She didn't resonate as being Indian. And we can all have our theories as to why that was. I have my theories, namely colorism, sexism, racism, misogynoir, a whole list of things. But that's aside from the point. I even said in the last video, you shouldn't vote for someone based on race, ethnicity, or gender, right? But it's not a foreign concept to think that if there's a candidate that has a similar lived experience to my own, they're more likely to resonate with me as a voter. And then once they have my attention, then I can learn about their policy and what they want to do. All that I was suggesting is that Kamala wasn't given that fair chance by a lot of brown people. That's it. So now the conversation shifts. If I no longer have a candidate that I can resonate with on a personal level, I'm going to choose a candidate that serves my best interest, or so I think. And I would wager to say this is so far beyond the brown community. This is the majority of these immigrant communities that come here with these staunchly conservative, selfish values. And I say selfish because these communities are rooted in family and culture and loved ones, but it's only your immediate loved ones, right? It's not your entire group of people. It's not your entire community of people. If it was, you wouldn't be moving the way that you're moving. So now, what did Trump offer them that was so enticing? White proximity. Now, brown people, I'm talking directly to you at this point. You and I both know that every day people get on this app and say, you want to be white people don't like you. And you probably shrug them off because they're wrong. You don't want to be white, right? You don't want to be around white people. You don't want to deal with them. You don't want them showing up to your dinner parties and your events. You don't want to have to explain to them who you are and what your culture is. You don't want to have to speak English when you're more comfortable speaking Gujarati or Hindi or any other language. You want a space that's only you and your people. That's where white proximity comes in. With that white proximity, the benefit of all the privilege without actually having to be near white people, you get the nice homes in the nice neighborhoods, in the cities with the beautiful infrastructure, right? The amazing school districts. But have you thought about what it is you're sacrificing? It might not be a sacrifice for you, but you are selling your entire group of people and so many other people down the fucking river so that you can have that proximity, so that you can have all of that privilege. This man has made it so clear that he only likes very specific types of immigrants. And instead of challenging him on that, and standing in any sort of solidarity with Black people, Indigenous people, and many Latinos and other immigrants that have been here for generations and already know what's up, you want to play that game. You convince yourself that you can be that immigrant that he likes. So make no mistake, you might not want to be around white people, but you are actively trying to get them to like you. But you are doing it to the detriment and harm of so many other communities. You are exactly who people are saying you are. Own it.
See Jimmy Neutron, did you not take any lessons from what happened to Auntie? None? We tried to warn you. Tokens get spent. And apparently they were extra efficient because payroll didn't even have to take down your banking info. You couldn't make it to day one? Let this be a lesson to every other Uncle Dage out there. You will never be enough for them. Never. You are discardable, you are disposable, and as soon as they don't need you anymore, they will show your ass out. Let's check in on who else only has 30 minutes left. Good luck in Ohio.
It always surprised me how the Indian community doesn't see Kamala as an Indian. Okay, her name is an Indian name. Her mom was India. Just because her mom was mixed with a Black person, somehow they didn't consider her an Indian enough to earn her vote. I think also it have to be with she's a female. It is a lot of things that goes into it, and also big part of the Indian community live in Texas. I think the Indian community, I don't know what's going to happen in the next election, but some of them are becoming more Republican, even when they are not welcome in that party, because the Republican Party is being taken over by MAGA. There is a white supremacist thing. It's nothing that they can do for they can please the MAGA, the Christian nationalist MAGA group. Also, it's another thing that I wanted to talk about it in this clip, and I definitely have to add more clips to the videos because I'm editing. In the part of editing, I forgot that I needed to, the clips that I have, the reactions, it wasn't enough, so I just voicing over this one. We had to talk about the situation of J.D. Vance and his wife. These are becoming ridiculous. It has been on the news for a while, for a few days. And it's just a situation of how this white supremacist group, MAGA, I'm just going to call it MAGA, okay, how MAGA want, they know the orange buffoon is about to die in any moment by this time because he's just extremely sick. I'm not wishing it any bad. It's just the reality of things. And they know the one that can take the presidency is J.D. Vance. But J.D. Vance have a problem. He is in an interracial marriage. And that interracial marriage is with an Indian woman. Before she was a Democrat, and then she switched to become a Republican and part of MAGA. So they want to somehow they want her to disappear, to fly away, fly like a kite. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they want her to disappear and then somehow to get, I forgot the name of the Charlie Kirk wife. What's her name? I don't know. I forgot. They want her to, how can I forget about it? They want her to be the first lady because she's blonde and she's beautiful and she's all the things the MAGA had wet dream about it. You know how MAGA is, okay? So stay towards the end because I do definitely gonna add some more clips of that in here. And definitely we're gonna be talking a little bit more about how Indians have been putting in place by MAGA.
That Vivek still hasn't learned his lesson, right? You would think that he would have learned when it came to Doge, because Vivek got booted out of Doge by criticizing, white people, by saying, hey, this mediocrity is going to kill the country. That's what's going to happen. It's going to kill the country. That you guys say you don't want DEI, but it seems that you do want DEI, but for white people. Because if the Indian person who is more qualified for the job, they should get the job. And essentially, that didn't go over well to his white ignorant base. Beta! Rule number one, you never outshine the master. You don't criticize the same people who are funding you, who have created you in a sense. And that's what he did. He said, hey, now don't get me wrong, what he said is absolutely truthful, 100% truthful, but that's not what they pay you to tell them. They pay you to tell them propaganda. That's what they pay you to tell them. They pay you to tell them lies. Damn. And putting a mirror up to them is a surefire way to get fired, to get canceled, to get deported. That's how that works. I don't know what to tell you. So he gets booted from Doge. He has to put on a smile on his face. This is after they told him that, hey, you need to go back to 7-Eleven, right? They dubbed it as a joke. And, if you're in this position, what can you do? There's nothing you can do. Vivek is in between a rock and a hard space because there's nothing he can do. He has to put on a smile. He is forced because he's put himself in this situation where now he's aligned himself with a bunch of white ignorants that despise him. Beta! When it comes to the racism, he has to put on a smile on his face and say, well, I can take a joke. Okay, I can take a joke. That's what he's forced to do. He has no other option. What he then does is pivot to, well, I'm going to run for, governor of Ohio. Okay, let's see how that goes, right? So random, governor of Ohio. And you see this also, once again, with the other immigrant, Byron Donalds. Well, I'm going to run for, governor of Florida. Okay, all right. Vivek puts out a post for 4th of July, right? And he puts out a post with his, his wife and his 2 kids, and it's like, happy 4th of July. It's a harmless, post. It's, you should be celebrating family, everything that, the American dream, everything that the Republican Party alleges that they stand for, right? Oh, we're all for this is a legal immigrant, right? He's built a family, he's assimilated, all of this. And as I've said time and time again, that's not what they want. That is not what they want at all. So you have to understand that these people, as the scripture says, come here to kill, steal, and destroy. They're a lineage of evil. And you aligning yourself with the lineage of evil doesn't make them less evil.
Wake up, nigga.
It just makes you a puppet, right? It makes you a means to an end, because they will use you until they can, and then they will, discard of you. That's what will happen. So if you look at his post is filled with a bunch of people saying, hey, I don't see.
We are here at the White House celebrating Diwali. We love the Indian people. We got Kash Patel, Usha Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy. And this celebration is about the battle between good and evil. Just like when I defeated Hillary, or our fellow ICE members throwing out these illegal criminals out of our country. I had chicken tikka for the first time, and I'll be honest, it's not my favorite dish. But I think one of the White House chefs might have used Kamala's recipe because it completely tastes like shit, I'll be honest. We love the Indians, we love Diwali, and if you have a problem with it, you can take it up with Kash Patel, but I will warn you, he might send you to Valhalla.
He didn't say that, and if he did, he didn't mean it, and if he did, it's not illegal, and if it is, everyone's doing it, and if they're not, she did something way worse.
Hey, just wanted to do a quick check-in with the Trump-loving BJP Indians this morning. Now, not because I care, but your girl Palki seems to be crashing
Trump did not broker peace in South Asia. He brokered a lie and then tried to use it as a legal weapon. This is a dangerous precedent. It's a warning to the rest of the world, because in Trump's America, reality is optional. If we just keep laughing it off, soon the joke is going to be on us. Trump's claims are based on flawed data. An Indian think tank has crunched the numbers, and turns out that it's America, not India, that is running a trade surplus. Every year, the US earns $80 to $85 billion from India and Indians. And this money comes from the services trade, from fees that US businesses collect, from Indian students studying in the US, and from a wide range of licensing deals. If you give him a nickname, he lashes out. The US media has a new name for Trump's policy moves. It's called Taco. Trump always chickens out.
We could have avoided all of this had we elected the actual Indian on the ticket instead of the geriatric permanently Holly-stained felon, but what do I know? Hey, just wanted to do a quick check-in with the Trump-loving BJP Indians this morning. Now, not because I care, but your girl Palki seems to be crashing
Trump did not broker peace in South Asia. He brokered a lie and then tried to use it as a legal weapon. This is a dangerous precedent. It's a warning to the rest of the world, because in Trump's America, reality is optional. If we just keep laughing it off, soon the joke is going to be on us. Trump's claims are based on flawed data. An Indian think tank has crunched the numbers, and turns out that it's America, not India, that is running a trade surplus. Every year, the US earns $80 to $85 billion from India and Indians. And this money comes from the services trade, from fees that US businesses collect, from Indian students studying in the US, and from a wide range of licensing deals. If you give him a nickname, he lashes out. The US media has a new name for Trump's policy moves. It's called Taco. Trump always chickens out.
We could have avoided all of this had we elected the actual Indian on the ticket instead of the geriatric permanently Holly-stained felon, but what do I know?
Why is no one talking about the virulent anti-Indian racism coming out of Trump and MAGA world? I'm Raj Goyal, New York City dad, Democrat, tech CEO, former elected official from Deep Red America. So yesterday, Laura Loomer, the infamous Laura Loomer, sent one of her goons out to Capitol Hill, and he shadowed Sri Thanadar, a congressman from Michigan, from Detroit area, and that guy asked Congressman Thanadar some legitimate questions about his campaign finances and so on. He, of course, walked away, as they usually do, and at the end of it, the guy says, hey, if you don't like Trump, why don't you just go back to where you came from? Well, Congressman Thanadar is a U.S. citizen, he's an elected representative, and he's a businessman. And so what's really happening here is, of course, it's masking and it's indicative of a larger fight, which is, remember over Christmas and several times since on Twitter and other social media channels, there's a brewing civil war on MAGA side between Steve Bannon and even Elon Musk around the role of South Asians and Indian Americans specifically, around H-1Bs and so on. And Steve Bannon has made very clear that he wants to come after Indian Americans. He wants to normalize Indian hate. And remember, there was one of those young Doge goons who said and was outed for the fact that he had a statement that said normalize Indian hatred, and Elon Musk hired him back. So there is a emerging, very important issue that not many people are talking about, which is a virulent, specific anti-Indian racism that is coming out of MAGA. And we got to watch this space because it's a very important battle that we may have to wage to fight these forces of racism.
No, we will fight. I said, whoa, this is the same man that I know.
Yep, that's Donald Trump today mocking the Indian accent. This is what happens when Usha Vance gives you the brown card. Good job, Usha Vance.
Would Americans rather have illegal Mexicans or legal Indians? More than 40,000 votes have been cast. And look at the results. Nearly 82% preferred illegal Mexicans. Only 18% said legal Indians. First of all, congratulations to all the Trump fanboys in India. You're finally meeting the real Trump fans. And newsflash, they hate you. Would America...
What's going on with Indians and MAGA?
As the Indian representative.
No, look, I mean, there is something interesting.
Well, yeah, look, like, that's Trump's DEI, Indian people, the dick-eating Indians, dude. There's so many Indians that love Donald Trump, like Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
Some Indians,
yeah. Another Harvard guy.
Was he a Harvard guy?
I'm pretty sure he's a Harvard guy.
I mean, what a herb. That's if you don't know what a herb is what we called people in the 90s when they were being herbs. Like he's a herb. He ran for president and lost, obviously. And he ran for president, and his main thing was his opening line was, "God is real." So why did he make you 5'7", Vivek? That's the guy. I don't know if he's 5'7", but he has 5'7" energy. And then I won't say his name again because if you say it more than 3 times, he just pops up.
Yeah, he pops up under the desk. Yeah.
Let's end affirmative action, guys. All right, dude.
Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah.
And then there's Usha Vance.
Oh, Usha Vance, yeah.
Who I'm praying for. I'm hoping she has Stockholm Syndrome because otherwise, why is she with JD Vance? Right. Really? She has to. And then of course,
the king,
Kash Patel. If you don't, I'm not saying shit about Kash Patel. I'm not trying to get one of these one-way tickets to El Salvador, you know.
but everyone else was fair game.
Yeah. If you don't know Kash Patel, you guys don't seem that concerned. But every Indian knows Kash Patel. But if you don't know him, he's the director of the FBI, and people don't seem worried about him. But his real name is Kashyap Pramod Vinod Patel. He grew up in racist-ass Long Island with the name Kashyap Pramod Vinod Patel. He is out for revenge. You should be very concerned. I'm not a fan of the guy's politics, but if I get pulled over, that is my cousin, for sure. You don't see the resemblance? No, that's me, dude.
What's going on with
Trump? Yeah, Biden.
Biden.
Do Indians want Trump or Biden as president? Trump? Yeah, Biden.
Trump.
Biden?
Trump. Definitely Trump. So you are asking like in 2025 election, who will come?
22, yeah, this year. Trump, yeah, Biden.
Trump. I'm a big fan of Trump. I think chances are for Trump.
Yeah, let's go with that. You want Kamala?
Trump will win, I think. Because Trump looks cool. Trump.
आ सकता है कोई.
Biden.
So Trump?
Yeah.
Trump?
Anytime.
Trump? Yeah, Trump. I was not expecting that many people to like Trump. I guess Indians want Trump for president.
And Trump supporters are suddenly discovering that MAGA is racist. For this, I need chai. Madam, what did you expect? But you thought that they were racist with you, not against you. when Sriram Krishna of Chennai was appointed the senior policy advisor for artificial intelligence. Immediately Twitter was like, hey, go away, you fucking Indian. Do you really think that the party that got preyed on by Trump, who said this, is really going to be like, oh no, these are the good immigrants? No, they hate immigrants, period. The minute they don't need you, you've done your job, you voted him in. They don't want you. You may think, oh, I am special immigrant. No, you're not. You are exactly same. You are brown, you are same. Oh, if only there was a sign. Chai. Laura Loomer wrote, they don't see you as one of them, and they never will. I don't know that the racist party I voted for would be racist towards me.
Prime Minister Modi is a great friend of mine, a terrific leader. And America is a great friend of India. Yeah! Yes! Yeah! I love India and I love my friend Modi. We have the best relationship. And for my best friend, you always have to give them the biggest surprise. Donald! Naren, I have a gift for you. A very big surprise. A surprise? What is it, Donald? A 50% tariff surprise! Surprise!
I've had it with white people that triple trumped. Yeah. That have the nerve and the audacity to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant. I really genuinely believe that if you triple trumped, then you are all about preserving the lack of culture in white America that has led us to where people go and Bible thump with their AR-15s. Like, that's the only thing that I see when you get all white people together in the United States. There's no culture at all. So they have to go borrow culture from people. Even the word woke, they've borrowed from Black culture. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel. Quit watching NBA basketball. Quit watching sports that are dominated by African Americans. Quit going to Mexican restaurants. You want white culture, you go fucking live in it. But do not participate in any of the shit that makes America cool. And what makes America cool is multiculturalism. And if you want to triple Trump, and you want to browbeat DEI, and you want to browbeat gay people, and you want to browbeat Black people, as you've been doing for 400 years, and you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses, earnestly pay their taxes, you want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit, when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit, Kankles McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have fucking had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit.
Can I talk about Indians and how they've been rejected by MAGA without talking about J.D. Vance and Erica Kurt and what is happened to Usha, I believe is her name. Sorry, I don't speak Indian, so I just don't know how to pronounce it. I barely can speak. I barely can speak English and Spanish, so I just don't know. But I think her name is Usha. And yes, I hope that I didn't chop her name, but what is happening to her? Okay, a lot of people is commenting all over to the TikTok, because this is the news they have been at least for like 7-8 days, that she needs to run away. Run. They don't know it. She's just something has happened to her. They just keep telling her, something can happen to you at any moment. Run. And this is the thing. It's just, It's just because MAGA is so extremely racist. Okay, so that's what she's dealing in there, and they know that the next in line to take the presidency is JD, and of course MAGA had to come with their racism and show them to everybody to see that for them it will not be okay if the first lady is an Indian American, a brown skin lady. So MAGA, definitely they want a white first lady. Okay, so they just been pushing this union between JD and Erica Kurt. And yes, and I have a few clips in here that I'm going to integrate in the video. And just keep on watching because this is going to get really interesting.
MAGA fancies itself a big tent party, a big tent full of racists that are now fighting over which groups they can be racist about and which groups they can't. That's what we're dealing with. That's the governing party. And they have fed this xenophobia and this tribalism and these culture wars forever. And now it is erupting. And there is an all-out civil war in MAGA, and it is delicious. Grab your popcorn and enjoy the show. All right, pumps. First up, we have Vivek Ramaswamy. And you know that Vivek is a huge MAGA supporter, and he endorsed Trump and is of Indian descent and is Hindu. So, Kylie, pop this up. Vivek Ramaswamy says, end identity politics. And here are the responses that he gets. End foreigners in American politics. Got a better chance of an Indian finding a toilet. Get the fuck out of my country. So this is what Pumps and I talk about a lot, listener. When you have the Kash Patels, who is a man of Indian descent in the heart of a racist political party, when you have the Scott Bessent, an out of the closet demon queen in the heart of a homophobic party, when you have Caroline Leavitt, a woman in the heart of a misogynist party, no one is safe. At some point, the knives will be at you. And the same thing is happening now for JD Vance, except for you would think that JD Vance would be joining the anti-racist movement because his wife is of Indian descent. She's Hindu and he has mixed race kids. But he seems to pile on every chance he can get. So pop up next tweet. This is JD Vance's biggest political problem in 2028. How on earth is he going to get the MAGA base to accept her? And Pumps, as I showed you the hatred that Vivek got, nobody cared in the base because they fed breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks to this rabid base. They fed racism to them for so many years now that it doesn't matter that Vivek identifies as MAGA. He's still not safe from racism. And now people are identifying Usha as being a political liability for JD Vance. And I have to say, he feeds that narrative.
He does.
He acts like she's a political liability.
Well, I think in an interview, he said, I love my wife, but she can't help it that she's of Indian descent. I mean, it's like, that is so tepid. Like, you need to come out swinging at these people. But in terms of they will turn the knives on you, remember Vivek just went deep into Trump. And the minute it was time for appointments.
Hello and good evening. In another episode of As the White Hood Turns, let's talk about Couch Boy and Mrs. Deceased. So they had an event at Ole Miss, right? And Couch Boy was the keynote speaker at this event. Now, I don't know if y'all have seen some of the pictures from the event, in particular the ones with Mrs. Deceased hugging Couch Boy. I'm not one to gossip. I'm not. But there are a lot of people out there saying, secret lovers, That's what they are. Now, I don't know. But if y'all done seen the picture, I'm going to try to insert it. Of her hugging Couch Boy, Mrs. Deceased hugging Couch Boy. It looked very suspicious. Anywho, while he was giving his little speech up there, he talked about slowness, you know.
I told y'all this woman is not grieving. She's glowing. She's literally happier than a cat at a fish fry. Look at her. And not only did she have adoring eyes for J.D. Vance, same adoring eyes for Donald Trump. Sis is laughing all the way to the bank. Somebody say, oh, we love Charlie. She like, Charlie who? And understand, those of you who love Charlie Kirk, you're grieving more for Charlie Kirk than she is. This woman has moved on faster than the Wi-Fi at a hotel lobby. Look at her. She's smiling like she found out her student loans were forgiven. Oh, but it don't end there. Now, when I saw this picture, I was like, now, wait a minute. We're going way too far here. Somebody need to call HR because I know for damn sure this hug comes with benefits. Look at her. She's grieving like the insurance check already cleared. She got the money's in the bank. She looks freer than a kid on their last day of school. Y'all got to understand, none of this is happenstance. So when y'all see all that performative grief, she's laughing all the way to the bank. Don't get it twisted. Sister girl is leaning in. Doesn't matter.
If your first reaction to this clip was, it's just a hug, there's nothing weird about it, then you can direct your commentary to the Turning Point USA YouTube page where I couldn't find this clip anywhere. Where is this clip? I had to dig and dig and dig to secondary sources because they've scrubbed it. For some reason, they think that it's weird enough that they don't have it posted. And if your next question is, well, what's her motive? That actually doesn't matter because the behavior itself accomplishes exactly what it is intended to accomplish. It is about power, proximity, association, and the assertion of an alliance. This is marking territory. This is claiming. This is making sure that their names are spoken in the same sentence so that we get used to the idea of their alliance. You see, in this case, there's a mutual grift. J.D. Vance has the power that Erica Kirk wants, and Erica Kirk has the platform and the people that J.D. Vance wants. It is the same reason that royals marry their cousins to consolidate power and prevent threats to their throne. Everything is energy, and
I want to talk about this as an idea. The Indian American identity is in part formed by the idea of a model minority. It exists in contrast to identities of minorities in this country that have been neglected far longer than it has even existed. In other words, the Indian American identity is defined by this idea that it is better than the other people of color. With that, I would say the Indian American identity is rooted in some form of narcissism. By that I mean it exhibits this outward drive to display its superiority, but on the inside it fears that there's nothing superior about it. It fears that its perceived superiority isn't actually the product of its superiority, which it isn't. These two don't seek to uplift Indian Americans in any way. They seek to hold down other minorities so that Indian Americans can uphold their status as a model minority and feel reassured in its false sense of superiority. Because if this country is able to uplift Black and Latino Americans, the socioeconomic distance that defines the Indian American identity would be lost. And that scares them, which is why this is even happening. They want to neglect other minorities in the name of meritocracy to maintain their distance from those minorities and claim that everyone got what they deserved.
Did you notice the new mayor of New York looks like a white guy? He's actually an Indian Muslim. I can tell you 100% if he looked like this, he would not have won the election.
I agree with Donald Trump on one thing, to make America great again. So now you ask yourself, when was America great? America was great when the indigenous people that were here long before Christopher Columbus landed on this continent by mistake. That's when America was great. Yeah. And so I agree with him on that. Make it great again, and you can take your colonialism back to where you came from. And return it to the indigenous people.
Yes.
And you will see America thrive again because Mother Nature will come back and regenerate and replenish.
As an Indian American, I have some thoughts on this election.
I just want to preface by saying that most of my life I've been liberal, super progressive up until about a couple months ago, which we can get to that in a different video. For those of you that are really upset about Trump becoming president, I definitely empathize with you and I can definitely see where you're coming from. But this tactic, which is honestly so boring and so overplayed, of calling anyone that agrees with even 10% of Trump or any of the people that he's chosen to be in his cabinet a race traitor, a self-hating POC, what? A Nazi sympathizer, again, what? A Hitler lover. These are really weak points. I mean, I'm all for a good debate, a good disagreement, a good discussion, but you have to come to the table with some idea that you're willing to dispute or willing to hear out. But just coming to the table calling someone a racist bigot or insert any phobia is honestly kind of boring because you then lose the opportunity to debate a really exciting idea. Entering with such hostility is not going to change anyone's mind and really going to make you look like a lefty loony. And the reason I brought up being Indian American is because I can totally empathize with wanting to speak up for minorities, wanting to speak up for marginalized voices, and basically having a seat at the table. And I think that using these terms actually does that whole movement and intention a disservice because now you water down the meaning of a Nazi, of a racist by labeling everyone that disagrees with you that, and it really just shortens the scope. So I'll end my thoughts with this. I think entering a conversation just assuming that most people really do want good for themselves and others will really help you with any disagreement, any debate, even if you think that it's going to get nowhere. I really think that having that mindset is the only way to activate active listening and empathy. I am not saying you have to agree with the person at the end of the day, but the chance of you both finding middle ground is definitely heightened. The same thing goes for the far right, by the way. People on the far right calling people that are liberal or have somewhat progressive thoughts, Marxists, is that how you say it? Or murderers is just honestly, again, just obnoxious. Assuming good intent will never fail you, even if that person proves you wrong. Again, you're still coming in with an open mind, and just like you are super passionate about a topic and you think...
For Indian Americans in the United States, it depends where region do you live. If you live in Texas, there is a big population of Indian Americans in Texas. Most of them are going to be Republicans. If you live in California, there is a big part of where a big part of the Indian population left in America. You're gonna have people that is completely a Democrat. Okay, Indians, they are completely Democrat. And yes, in this part for the Indians American in Texas, okay, MAGA cannot wait to show them, okay, and put them in place that they are not welcome and they don't belong here. It's a lot of marginalization that it goes for being Indian or American, not for Democratic Party, but just for the Republican Party. Not the Republicans. I think it's more the MAGA. Well, I already told you that MAGA had taken over the Republican Party, so the white supremacist group, they want to show their supremacists. And yes, a lot of cultural difference, they influence that because religion, okay? These MAGA nuts, they are all Christian. And they fight really strong for Christian values, okay? If you don't have the Christian value and you don't have the Christian religion, you are not welcome to the club of MAGA. And I think that's something the Indians American didn't pay attention to it. I don't know what's happened to Indian American that they just not paying attention. They are not welcome because they are no Christians and they are brown. Okay, maybe the religion you can change, but you definitely cannot change your brown skin. Okay, or maybe you are a little bit toward the pale side in the Indian, but you are not white enough for the MAGA crowd, okay? Also, the impacts of politicals. Some of them, they just voting for tax breaks. They just only want to have tax breaks. And that's what they want. They only want to have tax breaks from the government, because some of the Indians, some Asians have higher income than even the white population. Okay, they are one of the higher income bracket in this country, in the United States. So they do want those tax breaks. They are not gonna come for them unless you are a billionaire. We have a percentage of billionaires in this country. They are the ones that are gonna receive all the tax breaks. They are the ones that are gonna receive all the goodies. And definitely Indian Americans, they are not invited to the club. And I just wanted to do a call for the Indian Americans, or a call for unity. Okay, unity. Just come to the party that really accepts you. Come to the light. Come to the light. Okay, just get tired to be rejected by the Republicans. Just leave that group. Okay, why do you want to be in that group where supremacy is the norm? No, you don't want to be there. Just come to the light. Come to the light. Come to the light. And this has been all my video. Please, guys, don't forget giving a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Help us to support Liberal Media. Subscribing to my channel, giving a like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys so much. Okay, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Whatever you are, yes, I love you. Don't forget that. And also, please, if you want to just give me, you know, the editing of this video, it takes so much. The lighting is like crazy. It's just all day. If you want to support me in any ways, the super tents are the best. But also, what is really, really best is the Cash App and the Venmo, because I receive those immediately. And if you want to help me with some coffee, okay, I love having my coffee. I love drinking my coffee when I edit this video. So just drop if you can some super tens or some money for coffee. I will leave you all the information here. You guys take care. Thank you. Bye bye.